Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to House of Vibes. This is another episode of Hip Hop Hustlenomics. I am Saint Psych, and today I'm here with my homie, Brandon, aka Bitcoin Bran. He has a YouTube channel where he breaks down a lot of the nuances of cryptocurrency and the stocks. And that brings us to the conversation we're going to have today. We're going to chop it up. We're going to have a conversation because I think it's something that a lot of us are not very familiar with, and that a lot of us could use to our benefit if only we had somebody to kind of break these things down to us. So Brandon, what I want you to do for the people, you could just give a little background and kind of tell us how you kind of started getting immersed into the cryptocurrency and stock game a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So again, my name is Brandon, aka Bitcoin Bran. You can check me out on YouTube. Just look up Bitcoin Bran. I'll pop up. So the main thing about cryptocurrency is, what is it? How do you even get involved in it? What do you do with it? So cryptocurrency started out, way back in like the early 2000s, but it was generated by computers and graphic cards. You gotta go out, buy this whole graphic machine, and it'll generate those different coins and stuff for you. So the main cryptocurrency is called Bitcoin. So that's the main one. There's over, I want to say, close to 5,000 different cryptocurrencies that are actually out there, but Bitcoin is the main one. So whenever it moves up and down, it's because of Bitcoin. But we can talk about that part in a little bit later. Yeah. So just an introduction of Bitcoin and how it works. You use your computer. It's all digital. It's all digital currency, and you can generate it. You can actually pay for things. You can transfer it to other different wallets and things like that. So that's pretty much how it works.
Okay. So when you first found out about cryptocurrency, was there a person who kind of walked you along of what it was, or did you kind of have to go out there and do your own research and figure out kind of how it worked and how it operated?
Right. So a buddy of mine, he was the one who actually introduced it to me.
Okay.
I was in the military, and we talked about different ways like the stock market and things like that, and he mentioned to me Bitcoin. That's why I was like, well, what is this? What are you even talking about? So he kind of introduced it to me, but he didn't really tell me how to do anything with it. So that was like back in 2009 when I was first introduced to it.
Okay.
So fast forward 2016, that's when the Bitcoin really started becoming more popular, and people started getting more involved in it. So that's when I decided to take it serious. And as I was trying to do research on how to actually get involved in it, I had to go to so many different resources and just try to find one answer to one question. It took forever. So that's the reason why I started, my channel, and I tried to consolidate everything, into one place, so you can get all your answers and a lot of how-to type videos. Absolutely. Is what I started doing.
So let me ask you this. A lot of people who come from, I think, our background, we've never been introduced to information like this before.
Exactly.
It sounds real foreign to us.
Right. Exactly.
So if you had to give just a piece of advice as far as a first step for a beginner, how would you direct a person who wanted to get involved with it but didn't really know where to start? Where would you say a good first step would be?
Right. So I would say the very first step is to look up Coinbase. So Coinbase is an online web platform where you can actually buy some of these different cryptocurrencies.
Coinbase.
Coinbase. So
Okay.
Coinbase, Coinbase. And I throw a link down in the description so you can actually click on that. And the good thing about Coinbase is if you deposit $100 into your account, by using the link that I'm going to provide to you, you and I will both receive $10 from it. It doesn't take away from either one of us. You don't have to use my link either. So if you want to just go and create your own account, you can do that as well. Not even worried about it. But Coinbase is definitely the very first place that you want to get your account started at. The next thing that I would recommend that you do before you even, start trading crypto is to start looking up some normal stock market terminology, because cryptocurrency uses the same patterns and terminology and all kinds of things as like the regular stock market. So get a little familiar with how the stock market works, and just the different terminology, because you're gonna start, if you get involved into it, you're gonna start seeing a lot of these different terms and the movements and things like that. It's gonna be very similar to how the stock market works.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, if you start doing some slight light research, you'll get deeper and you'll kind of start figuring your way out, and you'll learn as you go. But let's keep it 100. This is Hip Hop Hustlenomics, right? So we want to know how we can make some money.
Exactly.
So when we talk about cryptocurrency and we talk about the stock market, ultimately the goal is to make money. So the next question, which I think will probably be most people's most important question, how do I make money with cryptocurrency? Because I can pull money out of my pocket and look at it. How do I make money using cryptocurrency? Right.
So great question. So Coinbase is how you get started. When you put your money into Coinbase, you can actually buy, there's at least about 5 different major cryptocurrencies that you can just buy right now. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Let's see, you got Stellar, which is XLM, and there's a couple other ones out there. But the main thing to actually start making money off of it is to wait on the actual market to drop. You don't want to get into the hype when Bitcoin has jumped up 15%.
That's good information right here, man.
Wait until it goes down, 5, 10, 15%. Wait until it goes down. Now, let's say, for instance, that $100 that you use, don't use all of it. Use $50 of it when it goes down. And as soon as you get into it, wait until it goes up, you sell it. You may not make a lot of money off of it. You may make $3. But $3 profit is $3 profit. So, and you just wait until it goes down again. Now you got $103 to use instead of that $100. Buy right back into it and just repeat that process. And you always got to be patient. Don't rush it. The biggest and hardest thing to do is get your emotions out of it, because you'll see the market moving a lot. And you want to get in. Yeah, it's very volatile.
That's the stock market, right?
Yep,
stock market terminology. Volatility.
Volatility. Yeah, and that's the biggest. That's the biggest difference between cryptocurrency and the stock market. How volatile Bitcoin is. That's why people can make so much money so fast off of it.
So cryptocurrency is much more volatile than the stock market.
Indeed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll give you a good example. Let's say, trying to think of. There's a stock that I actually follow right now. It's called EROS. That's the stock symbol for it. It's a $3.20 stock. It's considered a penny stock. When that moves, 10%, 10% for that would be considered a 30-cent move.
30-cent move,
yeah. 30-cent move. So it'll go from $3.20 to $3.50. So compare that to Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now I think it's around $9,500. A 10% move for Bitcoin is like almost $500.
Yeah.
So that's how much it moves. Now, even though Bitcoin is $9,500, you don't need $9,500. You can still use that $100. It's called buying fractional shares.
Fractional shares.
Yeah, buying fractional shares. So, and then you can constantly make micro trades with those fractional shares, to build your portfolio up. So,
and this is the same thing that we do in the hood every day, man. We playing with micro shares every day. But you may as well do it somewhere where it's legit, and you can actually set up a secure financial future for yourself and your family.
Exactly.
Another thing, I would ask, because you got introduced to the information.
Right.
You actually got to realize it and actualize it and see how it could benefit your life and your family.
Indeed.
So the question I would like to ask is, why do you think so many of us are not privy to this information? And why do you think that you were blessed enough to have it introduced to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think one of the main answers to that is a lot of people don't even know what Bitcoin is. They don't have a clue.
Very true.
And for some that do know what it is, they don't even know how to get started.
Absolutely.
So, that's another one. I would say a third one is, those that probably do know a little bit on what's going on, they probably think it's not real. So, because they can't see it, they can't touch it, they just think it's not real.
Absolutely.
And my answer to that is, if you have direct deposit, honestly, the money that goes into your direct deposit is digital. You know, it's not technically real.
It's digital money. Yeah.
It's digital money.
Yeah.
And the banks are constantly using your money while it's sitting in your account right now so that they can make money off of it. You know, that's a whole nother
conversation.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna talk about that right now. But you know, if you look at it that way, and you visualize, you know, how can this fake money actually, you know, do something for me? That's when you start, you know, getting intrigued and getting that more research, you know, on how to get involved. So,
and we have to be mindful. Now we all understand, you know, the situation that our people may have been in, being in the country. You know, we know that we've been cut off from economic opportunities. But what you have to realize is these opportunities are being presented to you every day through programs like this, conversations like this. It's important that you take note when you hear certain terms and when you hear certain words and certain language that you're not familiar with.
Right.
Take note. And then just type it in Google. Google is the ultimate consciousness of mankind collectively. You know, do light research, like he said.
Yeah.
This is, if you go to his channel, you'll see how he's breaking it all down for you step by step. That's how he started.
Yep.
Taking notes.
I learned a lot from Google.
A lot from Google.
As soon as I heard something new, I Google it, and then once I'm reading the description of what's going on with that, and then there's other terminology in that description that I don't understand, I Google that, and I just keep digging down and down and down until I finally figure out, until it makes sense to me. Once it makes sense to me, then I start applying it to my strategy that I use.
Absolutely. We are in a beautiful time. We are in a beautiful time in the world and technology. We're in the age of Aquarius, you know, where information is vast and it's being spread everywhere. We have to know that the wealthy, the 1%, they know this information.
Right.
They know this information. They do the research. They learn these things. And they know how to operate and function effectively within the paradigm. You may not have created your circumstance, but it's your responsibility to get out of it. So what we have to do is we have to do our research. But another thing I would say, so you've gotten to look at different types of cryptocurrency.
Right.
How do you gauge which one is better or worse against another?
Right. So in cryptocurrency, I always compare it to the stock market because they're very similar to each other. On the cryptocurrency side, you have what's called ICOs.
ICOs.
Yeah. Okay. So it's called an ICO. Those are individual coin. I can't remember what it is right now. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Gotcha.
So it's basically like a startup. It's a startup coin.
Initial coin offering.
Initial coin
That's
offer.
it.
Yes.
ICO, initial coin offer.
Yeah. So it's a startup coin, and you have to be mindful of them because sometimes some of these coins are snatch and grabs. You know, they'll get people like you and I will donate to them to build their platform, and then they disappear. You got to be mindful of those type. So, you know, as a beginner, it's best to just stick with the main proven coins that are out there. You know, for example, like I already mentioned, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Stellar. You know, those type of coins. So, as you progress and you learn, you know, what it is that they are talking about or what's their end goal, then, you know, that's when you can gain that trust on whether or not you should actually invest or buy their coin. And also, you know, use these reputable different platforms like Coinbase, you know, to actually, you know, buy the coins and sell it and things like that. Don't go out to just any random platform that you've never heard of before. You know, just be mindful of that.
So basically do your research.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do your due diligence. You know, definitely do your due diligence. The top three that I like to use is Coinbase, Binance, and Cryptopia.
Coinbase, Binance,
Cryptopia. Yeah. And the reason why I like those three for sure, Coinbase it's an international known platform. You know, even the government knows about them. They have all their regulations and stuff that's going on with them. So, you know, if you want to get into crypto, that's the very first thing that you'll need to do in order to buy crypto. You got to go through them first.
Coinbase.
So, yeah, Coinbase. And once you get your crypto and you want to move, you know, whatever you bought, your Bitcoin or your Ethereum or Litecoin, and you want to move it into another platform so you can buy those other cryptocurrencies, those smaller coins, that's where Cryptopia and Binance come into play at. Because they have a wider range of different coins that are on their website. you know, for you to actually invest and you know, move it around and, you know, always buy low, sell high. That's always the end goal, basically, to make money. You buy it low, you sell it high. Or, you know, you can sell it high first and then buy it low, but that's a little more advanced, you know, of a strategy. I wouldn't recommend that for a beginner. But but yeah, so that's pretty much where I would start at.
Okay.
And, you know, I actually have videos, how-to videos on how to actually get involved and actually move and transfer your crypto over to these other platforms that I just mentioned.
And that's another thing that we have to be grateful for, that we have brothers like this who will go out and put his time and energy into educating us, people who may not even take the time to appreciate the information that you're being given. We have to appreciate people like this, because these are the people who go get it and bring it back. Because a lot of us are not willing to do what it takes to go out and get it, but these are the ones who go get it and bring it back, and you can take that, internalize it, and use it to benefit you and your family, you know, as a whole.
Right.
So now we're gonna keep it 100. You know, we're not gonna make it all peaches and cream. What are some of the things to look out for as far as cryptocurrency? What are some of the red flags and some things that you should let be assigned to you to not get involved, or not maybe not get involved with a particular type of coin?
True. So I would say the biggest thing is if you're doing some research on a coin and that company says that they can guarantee you, let's say 5% return of your investment a day, you know, for the next 90 days, that is not true. They cannot do that. You know, crypto is entirely too volatile to do something like that. You know, today it could go up, it could shoot up 10%. Tomorrow it could shoot up a half percent, basically. So they cannot maintain that and be able to pay out everybody every single day that set amount. So definitely read and research that type of information. If they say that, run away from it. You know, so that's the biggest thing. Another thing is you can get involved in, you probably won't even realize it, but you can get involved into different currencies that are moving entirely too fast. And what'll happen is it'll move up, you know, it'll shoot up 2,000% in a day. And as soon as they start getting a lot of people involved in it, and you put your $100 into something that shot up 2,000%, it's gonna drop. It's gonna just tank. So basically, the people that manipulated that particular coin are pulling out.
Letting your emotions run.
Yeah, you letting your emotions, exactly. You see that 2,000%, you want to make some money off of it too. But lo and behold, you've already been at the peak. You bought at the peak, and now it's dropping, and it'll never go back up to that 2,000%. So that's the biggest thing you gotta look out for.
So those amazing returns, those things too good to be true, usually is. You know.
Yeah. That's why you gotta do your research. You know, try to get that step ahead. You know, if you do feel like it is something that is gonna go up, make sure that you get into it when it's already down.
Okay, so let's just say that you're actively in cryptocurrency, right? Let's just say I'm actively involved in cryptocurrency, and throughout my day, I'm looking over my stuff. Throughout a day, what does that look like when you're trading with cryptocurrency, or you're trying to determine value between different currencies? What does that look like to you, or what methods do you use to determine what currency is valuable or not?
Right. So one of the methods that I mainly use is you pick. It's best for you to just pick like maybe 4 or 5 cryptocurrencies and just stick to that. You know, you'll get a lot of noise about other things that are jumping up and down, but if you just stick to, you know, those 4 or 5 coins, you know, they usually have some type of pattern that they always, you know, follow. So one of the strategies that I would recommend is to set yourself a percentage that you want to gain for that day or for that week. You know, whether it's 1% for the day, 2%, you know, because, you know, these coins, they do move a lot, but don't be greedy. That's the biggest thing. Do not be greedy. Because if you try to be greedy, and let's say you do catch a coin that's, you know, it was down 10%, you bought into it right when it was at 10%, and you're trying to get out of it at the peak when it shot up 20%. But as soon as you try to sell it at that 20% profit, you're actually matching the exact amount of how much that coin costs at the time. And the problem is you're not going to have a seller, or you're not going to have a buyer that's going to actually buy it for that price. So for example, Stellar. Stellar is 7 cents, I think, right now. You know, and if that moves 1 cent, that's typically 10%. You know, so and it breaks it down into like fractional pennies as well. You know, so it'd be 0.079364. You know, it keeps breaking it down. So you do not want to try to sell at the peak. You know, if it's at 20% profit, try to sell it at 18%. Allow the coin to drop down to allow you to get out of it. Because those numbers look good, you know, as the money is going up. But if you don't sell it, you didn't make any money.
Right.
Yeah. So you know, that's a strategy to take heed at. You know, make sure, you know, set your own goals and stick to those goals. So if it's 1% or 2% for the day, you know, just try to get that 2% and then get out. You know, if it continues to go up, then by all means, it wasn't your day. Don't even worry about it. You still made money. So don't shoot yourself in the foot because you didn't get the 8% and you got 6%. You know, that's what I'm saying. So
let me ask you this: when do you think you can trust a pattern?
So that's a good question. A lot of coins, they tend to, if you do the research, you know, I would say go back 3 months or 6 months and look at the pattern of that particular coin. They tend to repeat those same patterns. The price amount may be different, but the pattern will end up being the same. So you'll see that, let's say on January 29th, Stellar dropped 10%. And then if you look at it, you know, back in December 29th, Stellar dropped 10%. Or it had some type of wedge pattern or something like that on that day. So, you know, you can take that type of data and then just try to mimic it and see, you know, if it's close enough to it so where you can actually make that determination. And then you can take your strategy and apply it into that.
Absolutely.
And, right. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so I got one more question for you, big brother. When it comes to crypto, I know that if the people go out and do a little research, you'll see that it's a long-term game. You know what I'm saying? You got to plan for the end game.
Right.
It's not get rich quick. You know, you're not finna get in today and bust out tomorrow. It's like you got to play the game and you got to strategize. But just so people can have some type of idea, just a round figure, what is I guess kind of time frame on a person getting any type of return being involved with cryptocurrency? And of course, it's going to vary based on your variables or what you have going on, but just a round figure.
So I would honestly say invest a lot of time before you even buy anything. I would say at least 2-3 months of just doing some research on your own. Just studying first. Always study first. I think there are some platforms out there that will allow you to do what's called paper trading. Paper trading is using fake money in the real market. So then you can, you know, learn those strategies and then apply those strategies into the real market. And then you can basically test yourself on if it actually works or not. And if it's not working, figure out why.
There you go.
You just gotta figure out what's going on, do some more research. And once you
so you can play before you pay.
Exactly.
Which is rare.
Yep. Exactly. So, you know, you can play before you play. So once you understand the mistakes that you made in the past, and then you also understand, you know, how you started making that money, you know, as far as like the different trades that you made, then, you know, take that $100 and apply that into the real world, into the real world. But the biggest thing that I would just say is don't be greedy. You know, just don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy.
Don't be
Play
greedy.
yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been chopping it up about how to make money, how to get some money, you know, cryptocurrency, how to get on your computer and get rich if you are willing to dedicate the time and energy. But outside of that, you know, we know you Bitcoin brand, you know, when you're doing your thing. But outside of cryptocurrency and stuff like that, man, what's some things you got going on? What are some things you're working on outside of that?
Yeah, so, you know, I'm heavily involved in modifying cars. You know, I got...
Saw some badass. I ain't even gonna do all that. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I got 2 cars that I'm playing around with. I got a 2013 Nissan Maxima that's completely modified. You know, it doesn't look like a Maxima
No.
at all.
No.
So, you know, I you know, the car community is what I'm heavily into. I've always been into cars. When I was young, growing up, when I finally started making some money, you know, I started just doing little things to cars. When I moved out here to Texas from Louisiana, you know, I'm born and raised in Louisiana.
The boot.
The boot, so Shreveport.
Yeah.
You know, so when I moved out here to Texas, I realized how heavy, you know, the car community was, and that's what really inspired me to do a lot of custom modifications to my cars. So, you know, the Nissan Maxima is one of them. I also have a car that was made in Australia that was imported over here to the United States. It's called a Chevy SS, just SS. You know, it's not SS Malibu, Impala, none of that stuff, just SS. So the name of that car in Australia is called a Holden Commodore. You know, if you look that up, Holden Commodore VF, you'll see it out there. So, you know, that's the car I go to the track with.
Yeah,
I'm always at the drag strip. You know, almost every
I ain't never
weekend.
heard of no Chevy SS.
Yeah.
Man. That's new on me.
Yeah.
That's
So
what's up.
they made right around 14,000 of them in the entire world. And you know, this right here is it's considered like a collector's car. So,
Oh, wow.
you know, I think mine was number 600 out of 1,400 in the color that was made for the year that it was made in. So yeah, I got a placard and everything for it too. So
Oh, that's what's up.
yeah, so I
So
take
you
that.
race?
Oh yeah, I race all the time.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
Okay, hopefully y'all get to see the cars, and we're gonna have to catch up later and get some race footage, man. That right there will be off the chain.
right.
Yeah.
So I actually featured my Nissan Maxima on my page on my YouTube channel back when I was doing all my cryptocurrency. Just a couple years ago, and I made enough money to actually pay for one of the modifications that I put onto the car.
But hey, in real time.
Yeah.
This is in real time.
Yeah.
You're seeing it in real life. That's crazy. That's what's up.
Right. So, you know, fast forward after that, I bought the house. You know, cryptocurrency helped me get the house.
Come on, man.
I mean, if you just put the time in, it'll pay for itself.
You can make it happen just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. Well, look, man, we appreciate y'all time today. Hopefully, y'all gonna have to come back next time. We're gonna be meeting up again. Man. We got to chop it up some more, man, because this goes in depth. And it's all, like I say, this is all education. It's all education because a lot of us, like we say, we didn't get the education.
Right.
But we get it, we bring it back, and you come to class right here at Hip Hop Hustlenomics.
All right, hey man, we support Bitcoin Bran. This is my 2017 Holden Commodore. I'm about to teach y'all how to get some money off of Bitcoin.